Welcome back, everybody, to Pick and Roll. We have returned from the NBA All-Star break, and we are back for NBA betting and discussion on the Board YouTube channel, which is the NBA content division of the Hammer Betting Network. Make sure to visit thehammer.bet for all of your sports betting content needs. And for NBA stuff in particular, subscribe to the board on YouTube and drop a like on this stream to help spread the word of the channel, help us out with the algorithm. Had a little bit of time off for the All-Star break. We'll just bring it to Pips quickly. I know you went on vacation, Pips. How did you enjoy the break, and how was the vacation?
So I enjoyed the break. Great. I was with my girlfriend to Budapest for 5 days, so it was amazing. I was like just trying to get some off time, and it was nice. But I also was watching some NBA All Star during the weekend, and I was not great. Not like there wasn't anything great to see,
Mhm.
and I was and it was like during my off time, and I was like waking up at night to watch it, and I would say I regret waking up for this, especially for the All Star game. So yeah, it was great to be off, but also great to be back.
And a little bit later on in the stream, we will be going through a little bit of NBA All-Star discussions, our thoughts on how to improve the event, because obviously there seems to be some things that are wrong with it here. It's its worst viewership, I think, of all time. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but we'll also go through the official picks in just a second here. Let's showcase the record on this season so far, and it's been great. 91-72 record. The most recent pick, which was on Thursday the 16th, was a winner in the Timberwolves Wizards game. No need to recap that because it was so long ago, but we're happy with that win there. But we're up 8.3 units and a 4.4% ROI. So again, great stuff to see there. And there are 3 official picks coming your way for today. And we're ready and set to reveal them here and go through them. So today, the agenda for today, we'll go through the official picks. We have a few things to discuss. We'll go through then the explanations for all the picks, but we want to give them in early as usual so that we can prevent any line movement. So remember to get these in early so that you don't see any additional line movement. So pulling up the official picks, first of all, we are going to Utah, who hosted that All-Star game, and we are going with the Thunder at the Jazz, and we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 31.5 points. That is minus 120 at BetMGM. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, guy who started in the All-Star game. I believe he was starting the All-Star game going back to Utah, or maybe he didn't even leave, but he's ready to take on the Utah Jazz here again. Over 31.5 points for minus 120 at BetMGM. Second official play is in the Pistons game at the Magic, going to Orlando here. We're going back to a Wendell Carter Jr. over. We have him over 12.5 points. Pairing him with Jaden Ivey over 11.5 points. That is minus 115 at DraftKings. So again, 2 of the bottom feeders in the league, but 2 players that have been, especially Wendell Carter, who have been particularly impressive, going with those ones there in the same game parlay at DraftKings. In the third official play, we are going to the Celtics, who are visiting the Pacers in Indiana, and a rare money line entry here into the same game parlay. We are taking Jaylen Brown over 22.5 points. We are pairing it with the Celtics money line for minus 120 at DraftKings. Again, those picks are on the bottom there as well for you guys to tail. And want to remind you guys that these could move off of these lines. We don't know. They could stay for the rest of the day. They could move off in the space of minutes. So we encourage you to get these picks in while you can. We'll be going through a little bit later on in the show. We'll be talking a bit more about the picks and the reasoning behind the picks from Pips. But before that, we do have a special word here that we want to bring up, and it's from Manscaped. We have a sponsor for today's show from Manscaped, and we want you guys to know, gentlemen, listen up here. I think we can all recall a time when a trimmer that we got at the local store, a very cheap trimmer, gave us some extra unwanted nicks or cuts in the downstairs region. Well, now we can trim with confidence with Manscaped, and they sent me over their Performance Package 4.0, and it is a game changer. First of all, I'm a bit of a sucker as it comes to packaging, and Manscaped hits the nail on the head here with everything that you see here. Inside, we have the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. We have the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, the Crop Preserver, ball deodorant, and also performance boxer briefs along with a travel package to hold all of this stuff together. And first of all, we got the Lawnmower 4.0 here, and this has completely changed the game. A cutting-edge ceramic blade, which reduces those grooming accidents that I referred to earlier. A 4000K LED spotlight, as you might be able to see there, for precise trimming. And also, my favorite feature about this is that the Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof. So take it in the shower with you. No more messy bathroom floors. And another feature that I really like about it is the fact that it has this wireless charger, easy to put on your bathroom counter, easy to charge for your next use. To take your grooming to the next level, they're also set with the Weed Whacker to trim those pesky nose hairs and ear hairs. With its proprietary skin-safe tech, you can trim with confidence as it reduces nicks and snags and the most unwanted pain. Also with this, it is waterproof. You're able to take that in the shower with you to reduce that mess. Finally, gentlemen, you're about to change your approach to hygiene with the Crop Reviver and Preserver. Your body will thank you later for those. If that wasn't enough, Manscaped threw in 2 free gifts to the package for your package. And with the Manscaped boxers, you can sit comfy with your brand new grooming. And also it has a travel package to hold everything together. You can take it on the go with you, store it in your drawer or cabinet very easily to not take up much space. It's time to take care of yourself. So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with our special code here, BOARD. Special code BOARD. I know a lot of you have been putting off replacing your old shitty trimmers. There's no time better than now to level up your grooming game. So you can get that 20% off and free shipping with code BOARD, BOARD, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using code BOARD. All right, with that, guys, let's transition now into those official picks and discuss why Pips has gone with each of those here. So let's start off, first of all, in the Thunder at Jazz game. You're gone with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a pretty popular play on the show. And any reason why you favor him here against the Jazz?
So this is like this line is like almost right on the average. It's a bit like higher, but this is a perfect matchup. Very high paced game. We bet ball handlers that can shoot from mid range, that can pull up like the entire season against the Jazz, and Shea is like one of the best inside. They are fouling a lot. They are going to the lines. We had like Jalen Brunson completely destroyed them like, and Shea is a better scorer and it's similar like scoring like mid range, going into the rim. Shea is even better. Getting to the line, Shea is even better. So like every guy did the same. Ja Morant had 20 the last time we bet, but Ja Morant shot 8 from 26 and 3 out of 8 from the line. So it was just poor shooting game from Ja. He was getting the great looks the entire game. We have Dinwiddie scoring 35, Damian Lillard scoring 60 points, Fred VanVleet scoring 34. Like every guy that has ball in his hands is actually gone over. And if you take a look at the Shea last season, he was scoring 22.7 points prior to the All-Star break, and then went on a huge scoring like ramp after the All-Star break with 30 points average. So we can just expect like another huge bump after the All-Star break. This is usually huge for some guys that they are. So Oklahoma City Thunder can make the playoffs, and Shea just need to be aggressive, and he can lead them to the playoffs this season, at least to the playing spot. And they are fighting for it, and they need huge performance for his, because Utah Jazz is a favorite in this game. And also with trading like some guys, they don't have anyone to like defend Shea one-on-one, or like they playing drop coverage, single cover. So great game for Shea tonight.
So good stuff there with that first pick, going back to the Canadian, the fresh all-star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and a nice little match between two MIP candidates that he's taking on Markkinen here. But let's move into our second official play on the show for today. Going to the Pistons at the Magic for Wendell Carter Jr. on the over and Jaden Ivey as well. What do you like about this one?
So I'll first start with okay, we are betting Wendell Carter over 20, 12 and a half points and Jaden Ivey over 11 and a half points, which is minus 150 at DraftKings. So I'll first say, like Wendell Carter is going at lineup with Jalen Duren and Wiseman, and that's a very positive matchup for Wendell Carter. Also, he has like very consistent scoring, 13 to 16 points throughout the season. So he cleared this line with 85% success rate throughout his season with 25 or more minutes. And with this positive matchup, I'm like, if he gets 10 minutes against the Wiseman, he should like just eat this line. And Jalen Duran also isn't like he's good defensive, but they'll let him alone. They'll leave him alone to defend. Marvin Bagley could be back for this game also, which also helps. Like they have just not great defensive guys inside. Their defensive scheme is like Jalen. I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Duran just like hedges some screens and leaves wide open dunks for Wendell Carter. So we only need 13 points. So with his clear rates, time, minutes, and matchup, great spot. And the second part is also one of the things I love about. So a lot of rookies, like especially the lottery picks, are doing way better after the All Star break. We saw it throughout the years. Like they just, especially on tanking teams, they have heavy minutes into the rookies. They give them the ball and like move out and let them cook. And I actually played great over the last couple of weeks before the All Star break. And Killian Hayes is back to his terrible. Like I don't know how to explain how terrible he is over the last. Like I don't know if these 2 months when he actually was pretty good was like some luck or I don't know, but I'll just say over the last 10 games he's back to shooting 28% from the field, which is unbelievable. That's like not 3 games straight. That's like over 10 games he's shooting 28% from the field, and I think he could be losing minutes again. And I think they will go heavy into Ivy, and also on the season with 25 or more minutes. I also clear this line with 85% clear rate, and this is a game between two teams that probably won't make the play-ins. So for sure, like Magic maybe, but Pistons won't make anything. So I think betting on, we could see like 240 points game and looking for over on alternative lines on the guy that will have the ball a lot, that will shoot a lot is great move, and I think this is a great spot.
Yeah, I found it interesting that you mentioned rookies tend to play better after the All-Star break. I guess it's for tanking teams, especially. They want to see what they can really get out of those rookies for the rest of the season. Maybe there's a little bit of incentive as we get towards maybe all rookie teams and players wanting to hit that. So interesting there, interesting factor into the handicap on that one. Let's move down to the third official play of the day. We're going to Indiana. Celtics are in town. We're going with the Celtics money line. Jaylen Brown over 22.5 points as the Celtics look to make a push to maintain that one seed for the rest of the season. Why do you like this one?
So first of all, like Celtics are finally healthy, and with them being healthy, like with Marcus Smart, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Horford, finally Robert Williams, with these guys, Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, who carried this team over the last couple of days, is only coming from the bench. Grant Williams and Mike Muscala. That's probably the best roster in the entire league. Like they are just like unbelievably great, like great team.
Yeah.
And Pacers were losing a lot of games, and then they played Bulls. So I think we shouldn't count on that win at all. They just beat the Bulls and lost so many games. And yeah, I love Tyrese Halliburton. I love some of these guys, but I don't think they are like anywhere near anywhere near close to being good as Boston Celtics. And I think with so this team of Celtics had amazing start to the season. They crushed everyone, and now they added Time Lord and Mike Muscala, and we saw Mike Muscala was great in the first couple of games. Like Mike Muscala is like we talk about it on trade deadline. I couldn't like speak enough of how great Mike Muscala will be for this team. And over the first few games, like he played in the first 3 games he played 15, 16, and then he played 44 minutes for this team. He made four, so he shot 40% from threes on 3 makes. Like, so he's coming from the bench and playing some like 15 minutes a game, and he can make 3 threes at the bench like in those short minutes, and he's very efficient. So nice addition there. Time Lord playing to no minutes limit, 30 minutes a game, 32 minutes. Like, this team is the one to beat. I think this healthy team is like the best team in the NBA, and I love them. And Jalen Brown, like, they'll focus on Jason Tatum, like, for sure. Pacers usually love to double team opposing best player, and yeah, like, Jalen Brown first game back was at the All-Star. He scored 35 points in 25 minutes. He was just okay. He made 10 wide open layups, like,
Yes.
sure. But I just want to see him being aggressive, and I actually love Time Lord going back into the lineup. So we have Smart doesn't shoot, Time Lord doesn't shoot. We have Al Horford doesn't shoot. So we have Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown making shots. So they will probably go with 25 field goal attempts tonight, and with the slight focus on Jason Tatum, it could open up a lot of for Jalen Brown. He cleared this line in 83% of the games with 28 or more minutes. So great. But I think if he goes over this line, they should win, and it's very well correlated. And yeah, love this.
So 3 great plays there. We'll recap them all again a little bit later on. In a second, we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Game. Pips talked about how much he didn't like it, so we'll talk about what went wrong with it and where we can see some improvements. But before that, we do have some breaking news from Manscaped once again here. Manscaped is now selling beard products, and you can take your beard game to a brand new level. That's right. They've gone from waist to face to help you replace that bulky razor with their brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Manscaped helped you get the golden rod of a Greek god, and now they've created the best tools for you to turn heads with a clean, perfectly groomed beard and conditioned beard as well. Finally, tame your mane by going to manscaped.com and using our code BOARD for 20% off plus free shipping. If you're on YouTube, we have it linked in the description. Also on podcast platform, it's linked in the description as well. And if you're watching live right now, it's in the pinned comment at the top of chat. So first impressions, I mean, I love the way the beard trimmer does come in here. Very nice packaging. Once again, I really like packaging and feels like a very high quality product here. This kit is definitely going to change your life. It's now so easy to create your signature look. And for starters, we have the Beard Hedger. Waterproof, cordless trimmer, which is great. You're not really going to be using this in the shower, I don't think. But what's great for cleaning purposes, you pop the top off and can just rinse it for some easy cleaning after use. My absolutely favorite thing about this beard trimmer is the adjustable sizing with this rotary blade. I had this beard trimmer. Before I had this beard trimmer, and I had a pouch with so many different lengths for the top of the beard trimmer, and it was just an absolute mess in the drawer. It was so difficult to find the exact size that I need. It made cleaning a lot more of a hassle. Well, completely gone with the ability to consistently adjust the exact sizing that I need from the Manscaped product. The Pro Kit, however, is more than just a trimmer. The boys know the job is not done when you clean up the hairs on your face with the trimmer. The kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. It comes with beard shampoo and conditioner. A lot of people have tried to grow a beard, but maybe they can't. It could be because of your aftercare or lack thereof. All your hair is different. The hair on top of your head is different to the hair on your face, and you need products that treat it as such. The shampoo and conditioner are specifically designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replenish your natural oils. Next, you'll have your Manscaped Beard Oil, which relieves dryness on the beard and the skin beneath. If you've never used a beard oil, you have no idea what you're missing out on. It can make the absolute difference to your look. And you can finish yourself off with Manscaped's Beard Balm, a pomade that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and brings a lovely scent of lavender, rosemary, and eucalyptus to your face. As if that wasn't enough, you'll also receive 3 free gifts in the kit: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code BOARD. BOARD at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use our code BOARD. The Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit, the premier solution to face grooming. And we talked about before the Performance Package 4.0. All these great things you can take advantage of with Manscaped. Thank you so much for Manscaped's support of the Board YouTube channel and the Hammer Betting Network. All right, we're going to move in now to our discussion on the NBA All-Star Game. So, Pips, you cited you weren't very happy with the game in general, and it saw its lowest ratings of all time. A testament to, I guess, where the game is going. We had that sensational game in 2020 that we've tried to replicate and have just not been able to. Your overall thoughts on the All-Star Game, first of all. I know you said you woke up early to watch. What did you think of the game?
I think was the worst game I ever seen. Okay, we are not playing any defense. Okay, we are not playing any defense even in the fourth quarter when you have the target. Okay, but the amount of wrong passes, you are not playing defense, so you miss, you throw so many turnovers without in the game without defense. You miss so many wide open layups. You make some wide, what's the point to making wide open layups? Who wants to see that? Unbelievable. You miss so many threes from the half court. You airball so many shots. What's the point? No defense, a lot of turnovers, missed layups, missed dunks, shooting all over the floor and airballing. I don't think anyone in the world wants to see that. Yeah, I watched the first quarter and it was some break and I was fall asleep almost, and then came back to watch the last quarter where I expected them to at least toughen up a little bit, and it was so awkward to see the last couple of minutes of the game when they were just trying to make some highlights and they couldn't get it done. Lillard shooting two air balls, bricks from the mid half court, then two turnovers, then on the other side they're making wide open layups. I don't think anyone in the entire world was satisfied with that game, and I don't think anyone wants to watch that, waste their time on it, and yeah, I'm just completely like disappointed with the NBA All-Star game.
So uh, I am one of the people who decided it wasn't really worth my time to watch the game. So I really only followed along a little bit. I saw some highlights of it, but I mean, I've just come to expect that the NBA All-Star Game is just going to be boring. It's basically like a layup line on each side. Every once in a while, Lillard will hit a half-court shot, or LeBron will throw one off the rim to himself, and that was pretty impressive. But the game overall, very lackluster. These guys don't want to play defense. They don't want to try very hard. And you know what? For the players, they've got some important games coming up. They don't want to tire themselves out. A lot of them are really looking for this rest to help them with the rest of the season. A lot of them, I mean, all of them do not want to get injured. So I can understand to a degree the way it is. Well, you don't think so?
I don't agree at all. So
what can you ask of the players? Yeah, you go ahead.
They are earning so much money, and that money comes from fans that watch the games.
Yeah.
And fans want, they deserve to get one 48 minutes game in the season when they are best guys going one against another, and at least see them try something. The 2020 game was great, 3 quarters of need nothing, and then they okay, we'll give them 10 minutes of something, and everyone was happy with that. They do this, this format was actually created for that. Give them at least 10 minutes in the entire year, 10 minutes of competitive basketball. That's not asking for for much. Just look at how much money these guys make, and it's absurd. I'm not one of these guys that's against load management, against all this stuff, because and someone says Jordan didn't do it or all these guys before didn't do it. It's the league is not the same, and you just can't compare it. But if you can give the guys 1 quarter in the entire year of competitive basketball with the best players in the entire world, that's just like I can't support that. Like I'm the biggest one of the biggest fans of NBA in the world, but I can't support that. I can't stay behind that, and like that's terrible.
Okay, I can agree. I can agree with that to a degree. I'll ask in a second about ways you want to improve the All Star game, and also I'll ask on the chat if you guys have any suggestions. I'd love to have that up to react to during the stream. But okay, I understand. But the players are getting I understand. Like, I want a better All Star game for sure. But for the players involved, I can understand to a degree why, okay, like I'm getting paid for helping my team with a playoff push rest of the season. And you know what? One game shouldn't take that away. But I guess all it takes is like one injury to happen for everybody to get mad about the All Star game again. So I think that might play in a little bit. But I do feel as though like they can still at least play some form of defense rather than just literally letting a guy hit a layup. So they definitely needs to improve, but I think it's also like it felt like some of the players they don't want to play defense because it looks bad on them. Like, wow, look at this guy actually trying in the All Star game today. Look at this guy actually playing defense. So I think it starts with maybe the highest tier players. Like maybe it's on the captains, LeBron and Giannis, to I guess get that sort of vibe out of the players involved. I'm not blaming them for this year. I'm just saying maybe it should be on the captains to kind of set the tone for the event in that way. But I'd love to hear your suggestions on how we can improve the All Star game. What amendments you would like to make to the All Star game to improve it from a fan watching experience?
So you had a great point. Like they just need to get all together on and just say, okay, we should try at least make it look like we're trying. And you said you had a great point. Like no one wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
No one wants to be Patrick Beverly of All Star Game. Like yeah. So they just need to collectively get together and say, okay, like a lot of people are watching this game and they want us to see us perform. Let's do at least something for them to make it enjoyable, not something amazing, 48 minutes of crashing the glass or everything, but like give them at least that last quarter we target. Like let's try to play some basketball. So with the other sides, like the NBA was interesting before the All-Star games because there was like East versus West and all the like rewards for winning that game and everything like that made a lot of sense and everyone was taking the pride of their conference or side or anything. So like probably something like yeah, like something like that. But with this format, where everyone is drafting their teams and taking their friends and not picking the guys they don't like and like it's fun but and it's also taking way too long to draft process and
Yes.
yeah it's unbelievable and I don't like I understand with this with injuries but I think they should do it the day before so they can just like yeah
You know what? That would be a really good way to take away. So we don't, because I think the skills challenge is bullshit. Like we don't need to do the
yeah
skills challenge. Do the draft instead of that, and then you still have the 3-point contest. You still have the dunk contest. So I like that. I do like that they made it before the game because of like the injury thing. But I think you're right. Making the day before makes a bit more sense. I will
so you
say
can
the
get
yeah. Go ahead. Go
so
ahead.
you
Go
can
ahead.
get the lines for betting
Yes.
earlier
Yes.
yeah
Um, I think for the game, they've done a pretty good job in at least trying to make changes. So each quarter is scored individually so that you're the winning team can donate to charity. So even if it's a blowout in the first two quarters, the third quarter still matters for the opposition team to a certain degree. And it worked really well initially with having the capped score for the fourth quarter. So you have to hit a certain amount because that, like we said, that really helped in 2020. It just the game needs to be close for that to come into play, which it has one other year, but not to the same sort of degree with like Kyle Lowry taking two charges late in an NBA All-Star game. Like that was an all-time moment for some Raptors fans that still talk about it today. There's been some calls to make it like a 3-on-3 event in a half court setting instead of a full court, so you don't run as much and it's easier to get back on defense because you don't have to move anywhere. There's been calls for 1v1 tournament with a cash prize. And I'll cite some other things some other All-Star games have done to improve. So the NHL for hockey, they now do winning team gets a share of $1 million. So for NHL, salaries are way lower, so that's more significant for NHL players, but still significant for anybody, that amount of money. And for the MLB, I don't think they do this anymore, but the MLB, it used to be, I guess, are you familiar with MLB at all? Okay, so it would be like East versus
Yeah,
West. It
I'm
would be
never
like,
watched.
okay, so I'm saying it would be, so it's American League versus National League, but it'd be like East versus West, and the winner of the All-Star game has home court for the NBA Finals. That would be the equivalent of what the MLB used to do.
Yeah,
Any of these
yeah,
ideas
I like that.
you like? You like the
Yeah, I like that. I would like that. I wanted to suggest that, but I forgot it when I was talking. But I spoke about East and West, like but that was before, and home court advantage in the finals would be amazing for. But yeah,
I think that would help because most of the guys in the All-Star game are in the playoffs. Like those are guys in the high tier team, whereas MLB was a lot more scattered. Whereas this is like these are the high tier players. I like that for the All-Star game. I think it would kind of take away from I guess of like earning the NBA finals one seed and being the high seed from the regular season. So I could see that being a little bit counterintuitive, but I mean, I also agree with Dino Five Yada here. I would love the 1v1 tournament, but I can't see how you'd hype up players to want to do that. You could add in like, a certain prize pool to donate to charity for the winner, but even still, like if you lose, the 1v1 tournament, you still know there's money going to charity somewhere else. So I can't I see that as like the dunk contest. I can't see the stars wanting to take part in that. I do like the idea of a 3v3 tournament because it eliminates the extra running. It eliminates having to get back on defense. Do you think the NBA should or could implement a 3v3 tournament?
yeah, everything is better than the skill like challenge. So yeah, 3v3 will be great, and also 3v3 basketball is improving a lot in the world. I don't know if you like watching any 3v3 FIBA World Cup or
A little
something.
bit.
Yeah,
There's,
but it's getting ratings up and it's getting more popular. So it could be a very interesting game.
there's also an American league, the Big Three basketball league. I don't know. I actually don't know if it still exists. Yeah, Big Three Basketball League, which was founded by hip hop artist Ice Cube. They do a tournament. They
Yeah,
do a league for older players, retired players, and they've added in some things that the NBA has taken. They added in the 4-point dots rather than the 4-point arc. So you have to have 1 foot in a dot. There's 3 dots around the top of the 3-point line. If you have 1 foot in one of those, then you can get a 4-point shot. And the NBA kind of used that for their 3-point contest, as we saw in the last few editions. So I think that would be an interesting way to bring in a 3v3 tournament. But yes, there definitely needs to be ways to fix the All-Star game. However, seeing the ratings, seeing how it performed, I'm sure Adam Silver, everybody involved, is going to be looking for different ways to improve this. I would expect something different next year. What do you think?
I think they they must try something else. This was a new change. First game was great. Second one was okay. This year is like complete nonsense, and they need to change it. Like this is not like something to they can continue anymore. I also hate the contestants for the 3 point tournament, like team point contest. Like they need to make
Julius
more
Randle.
structure in how they choose the guys. Like I think one of the like I'm from Croatia, so I'm just amazed how Bojan Bogdanovic never made the 3 point contest with him being one of the best shooters every season. And I think with his way of shooting, he could have a great chance of winning it. So like I'm like not there. Okay, they had Kevin Huerter this season, Tyler Hero, Lauri Markkanen. They all deserved it. But like Julius Randle, Jason Tatum, yeah, there's some terrible. And I know like we spoke on the like this, but Kevin Huerter was like no chance in 3 point
I
contest with.
saw somebody said if every shot Kevin Herter took in the 3-point contest with a dribble handoff from Sabonis, he would have won the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's exactly what I said. I actually liked more Keegan Murray for this content than Kevin Huerter. Trey Murphy could be in it, but he went for a dunk contest, so I don't know if that was the reason. And dunk contest was probably the best part of the
Oh yeah, Mac
of the
McClung made
entire
that so
yeah
fun to
yeah.
watch. Um,
So yeah,
a good question.
also
Oh, I was gonna say you added one more
uh,
thing, but a good question here. If you could add in one event to the All-Star game, what would it be?
I think we'll agree we want one-on-one basketball, but that's probably the slightest chance of happening. So, like, give us 3-3, and I will be good. Like four teams with like uh, four teams with at least one All Star in every single one of these, and yeah, it will be fun.
Yeah, I would say yeah, 1v1, not realistic. I think a 3v3 has a possibility of happening, like up to 11 even, just so it's like a quick game. And
Yeah, and also I know a couple of guys messaged me about taking Anderson, Nikola Jokic, and Luka Doncic on All Star game. I actually was preparing to send you like a message private before the All Star game, but I was waiting for the lines to open, and I couldn't wait the entire day, so I just forgot about it later. But I was like saying, I saw like Nikola Jokic under 13.5 and Luka Doncic under 18.5 before they even opened the line. I had like ready in the chat to send you that, but like they couldn't wait for them to open it. But it was so easy, like one of the easiest two unders of the season. They didn't care, like Luka Doncic was mic'd up and he was talking with the guy with them, and he was just saying, "I'm here to pass the ball," and he scored like a one layup and he had 2 points. He goes, "That's it from me tonight, guys," and it was like 3 minutes into the game. Like he just doesn't care. And
yeah,
Nikola Jokic was picked like almost the second last, and they asked him about it, and he said like, I wouldn't pick myself for this game. I'm just not made to
yeah,
play this. Like he didn't said stupid game, but he meant it. Like I'm not for this.
yes,
Like leave me out of here. Like I think if they said like you don't need to play in the All Star game, he'll like yeah I'm going to Serbia enjoy with my horses, and yeah I don't think he
yeah.
he wants to be there. Like
I completely agree. And every year see the same thing. I was also quite busy that day, or else I probably would have looked for something similar. But I did have the Team Giannis spread, so thankfully that was a winner there.
and
Um, I
how
could
do
see
you
Madigan
felt?
horse. That's funny.
Yeah, how do you felt when Giannis left the game with 10 seconds in?
Not good, but thankfully it probably wasn't a very good bet. But I was just like, okay, let's put something on this game, and
Yeah.
thankfully they did manage to cover it and win. It is
Yeah.
one they easily won outright as well. But yes, that was the Giannis injury was a factor, but also like LeBron was injury was a factor as well.
Also, yeah.
I mean, I
But
think
I will actually say LeBron was pretty great in the first half. I think he was the best. I watched when I was watching the game. He was the most entertaining guy on the court, and LeBron was actually doing some stuff. Like
yeah,
he
he
was
he he
fun.
plays up for the event. I like that about and like I think it was last year or maybe it was 2 years ago. He hit it was like a very it came down to like the last shot and he hit the last shot and it was last year. We hit like a trademark fadeaway to win the game. That was cool.
Yeah,
He always
yeah,
plays up. I think like he knows he represents the NBA in such a way like that,
yeah.
but he's got to bring it defensively as well, so the game is a little bit more
His
entertaining there.
his NBA his All Star defense and Lakers defense is not like huge difference. So
That's a good point. He probably kept the same level.
yeah,
Mitchell over was free. I it's so hard for me to handicap this event. Like
yeah,
imagine having the Tatum over, like just absolute home run smash. And maybe if a place had like a prop on the all-time scoring record to get broken, that would have been actually would have been probably undervalued for the odds. Probably would have been a bad bet, but the fun bet it did cash. Okay. I think that is all we have on the All Star event. So let's recap the three official picks that we have for today's show. To finish us off, first of all, we are going to Thunder at Jazz. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 31.5 points, which is minus 120 at Bet MGM. Second, we are going to the Pistons and the Magic, where we have Wendell Carter Jr. over 12.5 points as well as Jaden Ivey over 11.5 points, minus 115 at DraftKings. And in the Celtics Pacers game, Jaylen Brown over 22.5 points paired with the Celtics money line. We thank once again Manscaped for the support of the board, the best in men's below the waist grooming. And remember to go to the link in the description or the link in the top of chat if you are watching live and use code BOARD, BOARD, for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. This has been your show, Pick and Roll, for today. We'll be back tomorrow for some more NBA betting and discussion, and hopefully we have some winners that we can talk about and some winners that have cash for today. Remember to like this stream to get support and help this appear on some more recommended pages, and subscribe to the channel for all the great content just like this every single weekday around 11:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.